So story time. Back in the early 2000s, I was trying to buy an albino boa. And I was talking with a guy off of the old AOL chat room, and he was going to Daytona. And I figured that would be my shot for picking up a call strain albino boa. I told him I had like $1,200 to spend, and that's what I wanted. He went to the show, found nothing, came back to me and said, hey, no boas, but I do have an opportunity for you to get a pair of Yellowbelly ball pythons. He sent me some pictures, and overall, I wasn't impressed. It didn't really do a whole lot. So I didn't really like it, and I told him I'm gonna have to pass. And then within 6 months of that, the ivories were produced and the prices on Yellowbellies went up to an absolutely insane amount, and a huge opportunity was missed. So I say all that to say that recently I put a Q&A up on my Instagram to see what kind of questions people might have, and one of those was, what are the stances that you've changed your mind about since you started breeding reptiles? And Yellowbelly in general is kind of one of them, and that's only because with genetic testing now, you have the ability to find out if your Yellowbelly is in fact a Yellowbelly or if it's a gravel or an asphalt. And previously, I was a bigger fan of the super gravel, super asphalt stuff. So when I mention genetic testing, I'm talking about kind of the benefits and how you can determine whether or not the animals you produce from that pairing are going to be either gravel, Yellowbelly, or anything else within that complex. So I have a very beautiful highway head ultramel that I plan on using this coming season. And while, I do find it to be a very beautiful animal, the only animals I intend to keep from that pairing would be the gravel ultramels, or maybe even gravel head ultramel females, just to raise up for future projects. And sometimes it doesn't really matter which gene they have. Like a beautiful red striped cypress female that I have that looks absolutely stunning, and she is either a Yellowbelly or gravel, while I would obviously prefer her to be gravel. It really doesn't matter what direction she goes, because no matter what, those babies are still going to be useful for the projects and the direction that I'm going. Now, I'm not saying that Yellowbelly looks bad. In fact, Yellowbelly does a lot for a lot of projects. Yellowbelly and Pied looks absolutely amazing. Yellowbelly and Hurricane messes up the pattern quite a bit. And Yellowbelly and Clown adds a whole lot of color to the project. I think bringing in those different pattern elements as well as color elements that Yellowbelly has can increase the, desirability and beauty of a project. So there are plenty of reasons why you could be interested in using the Yellowbelly or other lighter animals within that complex for enhancing other genes and other projects. So while my opinion hasn't necessarily changed completely, I'm not as scared to use something like a highway to produce the gravel animals I need for my projects, as at the end of the day, it is an act like super, so there's a lot of value in that. But my main goal it will continue to be to produce stuff like the super gravels and things like that, because at the end of the day, it does not blank out the snake, and you're going to know exactly what everything is whenever you produce from a super type animal. And that could go for something, like the super gravel, or even like a super blackhead, a super chocolate. I mean, the list goes on. And there's also benefits to using something like an ivory, because at the end of the day, everything that you produce from that clutch is going to be a Yellowbelly. So I think there's a lot of value in having the supers for all of these projects, because you're going to know exactly what you have, and you're going to be able to push forward in the direction that you're going for to add those genes that add, enhancements to those projects. Whether that's adding a little bit of side flame, whacking out the pattern, or increasing the color and contrast. Let me know in the comments below what's your take on Yellowbelly or super animals in general, and kind of how you use those for your projects. In the meantime, follow us on Instagram at Nixon Reptiles, and check out our Morph Market to find an animal for a new or existing project. Thanks for watching the video. See you in the next one.